Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show and another test stream for Streamyards. Like I said before, we're just learning the technology and trying to learn all the ropes and, figure out how this works. Hope you guys are all having a great day. The weekend's almost upon us, and the little guy won't be joining me unless he decides to come up in a little bit, but he said he had some things he had to do, so I'm just going to wing this and do this on my own, see if anybody's out there. Looks like I got one viewer that's probably actually just myself. Did a little cleaning up around the house, getting ready for, like I said, the weekend. Bruce's game is Saturday. We also have a gun show we want to hit up, so hopefully we'll be able to make it back here in time for that. If not, probably won't be too late because we're pretty good at, blazing through the gun show and, hitting up all our favorite vendors. And, we kind of already have a shopping list of what we're going to pick up this weekend. Let's see, let's play around with what we've got going on here. Post a comment. Howdy, folks. See if I can actually see that. It doesn't look like it actually went up. I'm not seeing that. That's weird. I wonder where that went. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's being stupid. Kind of old hat for me, right, guys? So we've also got another craft video tonight. I've been working on that. Got this plastic container, a whole bunch of these orange juice weird lids. You can see those. A couple of smaller ones, a couple of gumball machine bubbles, and a few other things. Don't want to spoil the surprise for tonight, but maybe you guys can guess what I'm making. I'm not seeing the chat. Play around with a couple of buttons here. What's this? Share screen. Okay. Don't have anything to share. Okay. Cool. Looks pretty good so far. Maybe try not seeing that. Okay. Howdy, how's it going, everybody? Still just me, myself, and I hanging out. Kind of bored. I've got a kind of a busy weekend. Got a birthday party on Sunday. Got a live stream with Connell out there. Little guy and I are going to be reviewing possibly the worst movie I've ever seen. If you guys haven't seen The Scientist, don't bother. It's pretty awful. But we had some fun watching it this morning, and I'm going to save most of the yakking about that for Sunday, and of course, Friday I will have a Arduino review. I'm not sure which one's left on the chopping block. I think it's the Black Grimoire, which I should be able to read between now and Friday. I'm a pretty quick reader, so. But to be honest, I may just take the day off, to be honest, with the Arduino reviews, or I'll just maybe talk about something else. Maybe I'll even do the Gamma World Part Two. I'm really getting an itch to play some Gamma World. I didn't think I would, but I popped open the box set, and it just all the old memories just came flooding back. You guys have never played Gamma World? It's actually a fun game. It's a little gonzo. It's really simple. I was talking to Jade last night, and a lot of people are kind of burnt out with a certain play style, and DM James was giving us the sit rep for his AD&D game, and that's one of the things I keep falling back on are the simpler rules, the easier modes of play, no power gaming, no overly crunchy rules systems, and Gamma World was definitely you know low on the crunch value. There's you know very very little in the way of actual rules. It's one of the few games out there that spends more time describing the world and the let's say treasure and monsters, even though the technological devices, while they are technically treasure and pretty powerful, if you were to bring those over to a D&D game, you could rule the world in a hot minute. But the rules themselves, it's I think 54 pages for Gamma World, the original first edition Gamma World, and it's seriously, there's more pages describing the technological gadgets, the creatures, the secret societies, the all the fluff, as it were, than it does actual rules. I think if you were to strip out all of that, you'd be left with about 12 pages of rules. Rolling up your character, combat, maybe a little more because of the mutations, because there are 30, 40 different mutations for the physical category and the mental category, and it's really rules light, not as light as continual light or some of the other like one-page rule systems out there, which you can't really get much lower than that, other than you know half a page, I guess, and I don't think any of us want to really jump into a role-playing game that's that light on the rules, because it's pretty much going to have to take into account that you already know the rules for every other game, and you're just basically mentally borrowing from other rule systems. But Gamma World, and even other games like Boot Hill, not so much Star Frontiers. That's a little heavier in the way of rules, but it's still pretty light in the way of actual rules. But Boot Hill and Gamma World, really really minimal rules, and even AD&D, for a player's perspective, if you're running a fighter or any of the subclasses, or a thief, even a priest, you don't really need to know much more than the maybe three pages of information that pertains to those character types. And having tried to read other games like Starfinder and Pathfinder, man, those books are heavy, not just in actual physical weight, but the massive amount of rules that you need to really really absorb before you're ready to play. Yeah, I know, Baron. I'm trying not to make it sound exactly like you just put it, but it's a test stream. I want to make sure I'm doing everything right, so that when I'm ready, or when you guys are ready for me to host a table breakers or anything else like that, I'm good to go. I think I've done everything correctly so far, but it's nice to hear from you and your 2 cents worth of well, you guys can read the comment section. I don't think I could have said it better myself, but I'm going to keep on rolling and rambling on for a little while, and then I don't want to do dishes. There's crap like that needs to be done, and I could do this. Come on, you guys are right. Who wants to do dishes? Or worse yet, I got 2 yards to mow before Sunday. Yeah, not looking forward to that. But fortunately, the yard's still kind of soggy from the rainstorm we got yesterday. So I'm gonna use that as my excuse, and the little guy, I don't want to have to put him to work right now. Why, why not procrastinate a little bit for the weekend? But I hate mowing the lawn, especially my front yard. I've got, my backyard is nice and flat. I can whip that out in like 20 minutes if I really, speed mow it. But the front yard, it's got this valley that these like two kind of hills that are just a pain in the ass. You can't actually mow it straight. You got to kind of go at the angle. This really weird technique I just discovered after, mowing it for going on 11 years now. I've been mowing this damn yard every 2, 3 weeks, less obviously in the winter. And man, it is a bugger of a, and we're only talking, maybe 5, 6 square meters of hilly area, but it takes longer to do that one section than it does to do the whole backyard. It's just awful, and I was having trouble with my one of my front wheels a couple of weeks ago. It was just not turning at all, but I ended up with the WD-40 and the wire brush and, got it to loosen up, and now it works again. But that's how I discovered the way to cut it at an angle, because I just couldn't get it to go. It was just grinding, a little tread, tracks in my yard, and it's like, this ain't working. I got to do something. And here in California, we're not even allowed to water our yards, but like once or twice a week. I'm like, well, what's the point? In like 4 more weeks, I won't even have a yard. I'll just be mowing dirt. My whole neighborhood, all the yards are turning yellow. We've all got patches of green and yellow, but it's getting worse and worse as the heat, starts to rise. And, thankfully we all got some free rainwater yesterday. I mean, it rained almost 24 hours straight, off, not straight, but off and on, intermittent, downpours. And, we got a nice, light show with a really, really cool thunderstorm for like 12 hours. You just, every couple of minutes, you'd hear something, see a flash of lightning, the whole bit. And it was pretty cool, except for yesterday morning, 8:30, I hear this crack of thunder that I swear to God is louder than any firearm I've ever fired. I really thought, something exploded in our neighborhood. It was just the loudest thunder I've ever heard in my life. And I've lived all over the world, traveled and done things, and never have I ever heard a thunder crack like that in my life. It was brutal. Aliens? No, I think they're going to wait for that right before the election. Maybe like September, maybe October. Probably not October though, because then everybody's just going to go, oh, it's just some sort of Halloween prank. So maybe they'll whip out Project Bluebeam or some other crazy whatever and hit us with the aliens. But I'm ready for them. I've got a couple of good rifles, and get off my lawn. That's all I got to say. And besides, they don't want to abduct somebody like me. I'm full of God knows what kind of toxins and pollutants, and I've been smoking for almost 40 years, and done other crazy stuff. So they don't want me. Son, on the other hand, that kid's smart, man. He's probably smarter than they are. So maybe they'll beam him out in the middle of the night, and of course I'll take the blame for it. The little woman will be like, "Well, what happened to our boy? Why weren't you watching him while he was sleeping?" Some crazy crap. You know how women are. You get blamed for crap you can't possibly have, prevented or prepared for. But of course, yours truly will take the blame for something like that if it happens. But then again, after abducting the little guy, they'll probably just send him right back, because they get him talking, and whew, he can talk for days. Start telling them about history and politics, and they'll be like, "Now, here, I'm back." He's a good kid. You guys, he's a really good kid. I'm a really lucky dad, and I wouldn't change him for the world. And hopefully, high school's coming up in just a couple short months, and you know what it's like to be a scrub. Most of you guys out there, he'll be a scrub, but probably taller than half the seniors. So he shouldn't have too much to worry about with hazing or any of that crazy stuff that we had to put up with. I don't know about you, but the summer before ninth grade, all my friends were terrified, that they were going to be getting, messed with and bullied and, all the other crap that goes along with, going to a new school and, being the youngest grades there. Although we never had that with kindergarten, did we? Go to kindergarten, nobody messed with you. They just leave you alone. They're just, babies and stuff. Not these days, though. Can't let your kids out of your sight for a minute. He went to the school. He went from kindergarten to eighth grade. He's the only kid riding his bike for like dazed. I'm not dazed, nor am I confused. But yeah, I saw the movie. I get the reference. He was the only kid to ride his bike, except for like 1 or 2 or 3 day exceptions where the other kids that rode their bike were friends of his and we all rode together. But man, kids are spoiled. Curbside service for every single kid. He went to a school of about 900, and every single kid there was getting a ride, dropped off right there at the basically the front entrance to school. And they're not out playing, they're not out riding their bikes, they're not out getting into trouble, which I guess is not something I should be advocating for. But kids kind of really need to be able to go out there and stretch their wings and explore and just have some time away from your parents and just good old fashioned quality time with their friends. And there's absolutely none of that going on. Maybe where you guys live, you got it better, and the kids can stay out with their friends until the street lights come on. I wouldn't let my son or anybody else's kids go out without some sort of parental guidance. You don't have to stick your nose right in with what they're doing, but just keep an eye on them these days. I'm telling you, it's not safe. It's not. It's really not cool because they're spending all their time inside in front of a screen of some sort. And fortunately, little guy and I, we've got all kinds of hobbies and games and things we could be doing. But it's amazing how easily you can get sucked into one of these screen things. Like with me right now, sitting here, babbling on to Baron and myself. I know I picked a bad time, and I'm taking away viewers from DM Fritz over at the GM's Alco, but I'm going to make this short so I can go over and hang out with him, just because he's such a great guy, and his channel and his shows are always so much fun to just chill out and relax and just put all that other crap out of your head for a couple hours each day when he's on, and break out the paddles. I missed that one. Paddles, like for rowing a boat or ping pong or that's paddling. You get into punishment kind of thing because we've never hit our son ever. He's never done anything to warrant some sort of punishment like that. All we have to do is just look at him the right way, and he's he's a good kid. I don't have to ask him 50 times to do anything. Hey, take out the trash. Okay. It's almost like I hate to say it, but like COVID actually really did a number on them. They're just itching for something to do. Every kid that he knows, that I know, that I interact with, they're not looking forward to summer vacation. I know a couple of kids that were actually crying that school is over and now they got to go get locked up back in their homes again for 2.5 months. It's not good, folks. So take your kids out, get some fresh air, go get a bike if you don't already have one, skateboards, roller skates, something. Just get your kids out of the house at least once a day to do something instead of just sitting in front of the screen or a phone or even here we turn on music as soon as we wake up, and I crank it up to just about 100 depending on the day and what else is going on, just so that if you were trying to watch something on a screen, you can't because music's just too loud. And I can hear all you guys out there. What kind of music do you listen to? All kinds of stuff. Normally we take turns picking which station we're going to listen to for a bunch of hours or so. But last couple of days, I've got a we use Pandora because it'll blast through the house with our TV set up on 99 100, and you can hear. If I had it on 99 right now, you can hear it upstairs, even with the ambient noise of my AC unit. But we listen to all kinds of stuff from The Cog is Dead, Jonathan Colton, what the hell, Weird Al from time to time. These are all like station names that we have. So if I put on the Weird Al channel, we get all kinds of humorous music. If I turn on Jonathan Colton, a little bit more humorous. Cog is Dead, all kinds of D&D and fantasy songs. If I turn on my Blue Oyster Cult channel, it's all 70s and 80s heavy rock, almost heavy metal. Sometimes like Judas Priest will sneak its way into that channel. And if I want something heavier, I've got my Megadeth, Metallica channels. I've got the opposite spectrum. I've got an ELO channel. I've got Golden Earring channel for weird European rock and things like that. And of course, there's like 50 Spanish channels on my Pandora account. Can't imagine how that got there. Because I'm barely fluent in English, so listening to anything in Spanish is just not my cup of tea. But I'm not the only one who has access to that account. Every once in a while, though, I will go in and I'll delete a bunch of the Spanish channels. No, I'm kidding. I don't know how to do that. I wish I did. And it would just be nothing but good old-fashioned rock and roll. So what do you guys listen to? Baron, I know you like a couple of bands I mentioned out there. Anybody else out there? Any other bands that you're really like into right now? One of the bands I got into recently is this band called Power Man 5000, I think it is. They're kind of like modern punk, techno-ish kind of band. I really dig those guys, and of course Five Finger Death Punch. Little guy and I both just love those guys. Of course, the profanity is, for me, it's actually a bonus. I like hearing that, even though we don't listen to that channel very much lately, just because, he's already got a mouth like a sailor. No, okay. He really doesn't cuss that much. And even if he does, he uses the toned down versions of those words, which is, I don't know about you guys. When I was 14, hell, when I was 7, I knew every word in the book, and I used them all day long when my parents weren't around. And not saying that kids need to be talking like that, but kids talk like that. If you think they don't, you're mistaken, or you're raising kind of a pussy. Just saying, kids need to be able to go out there and fend for themselves from time to time, and sometimes just being able to, fit in by the way they talk is all that it takes to, keep people from, messing with them. At least, in school, obviously, you don't want them dropping F-bombs in class, but, when the teachers and counselors aren't around, kids are going to be kids. They're going to talk the way they talk. It's part of growing up, I think, using these big words that, normally they get their mouth washed out with soap, or maybe they used to. I'm pretty sure nobody does that anymore. Maybe in the South, where things are a little better, people are a little more strict, that might still go on. But, when was the last time you heard of a kid getting his mouth washed out with soap? Not to mention, who the hell would do something like that? That just, if you've ever been through it, it's all it does is make you want to curse more, right, folks? Someone puts a bunch of soap in my mouth, or if I accidentally, use a spoon or something that wasn't washed off properly, guaranteed I'm dropping an F-bomb at least. If not throwing it across the room. Hey, get over here. Come here. Guest appearance. Don't leave me hanging. Come on, up. Come on. It's just me and Baron and my dog, who would normally jump at the opportunity to come on screen. Come on. Come here. Now he's just leaving me hanging. Just like, no, Dad, I'm good. I'm good. He's a sweetie, though. Dogs are the best. Aren't they, folks? Who doesn't love a good dog? Loyal, loving, sweet. and they can tear your throat out if they ever are so inclined. Although I don't think this guy could tear the throat out of a teddy bear. No, he is. You should see it. He's got a pillow that you try and take it from him, and he will bite your nose off. Right? If you could see him just sitting there wiggling his butt, wagging his tail at me, giving me the I love you look. The don't stop petting me, Dad. This is the greatest thing in the world. It's not weird. How they just absolutely love that. Just you could pet them for like 4 hours straight, and the second you stop, they're like, "Why'd you stop?" Like we're mad at him or something. No, it's just my hand getting tired and boring. I'm not getting the same thing out of it you are, buddy. Come on, come on. I'm just gonna pull you up just for a second. You guys see him? You see this little fart? See, look at that cutie pie. Yes, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Come on, one more look. Come on, up, up. See those little brown eyes? Look at that guy. Yes, we love you. Yes. I wish I could have more dogs. If the opportunity arises and I get to go to Texas, that's my goal is to have a dog farm with like 500 dogs. Yep, all different types, all mutts, all the dogs that nobody else wants. Those are the best dogs. Purebreds are cool, but you know what? This dog, this mutt, is 50 cents. Someone was going to throw him away. Dog, best dog I've ever owned. He knows more tricks. You can almost have conversations with him, and he'll grunt and snort his responses, which are you know you just know he's a smarty pants. But he's getting old. He's like 11 years old now, and sometimes he will play around, act like a puppy, and other times it's like he's 90 years old, and all he wants to do is just lay around the house doing nothing. But I wouldn't trade him for anything. And hopefully he'll live long enough to go to Texas, and then have a nice big area to run around and new things to smell and new bushes to pee on. I tell you, that's like his favorite thing in life. Sometimes he's got this spot in the front yard that it's right near the sidewalk that he's just gotta do his business there. Like I know he's marking his territory so that when our neighbors and everybody else walks their dog, that it's like, oh, the dog lives here. Not like they couldn't hear him, because if anything, the leaf blows by our window, he'll just start barking at nothing. You can't even get within 100 yards of our front door before he starts barking at anything. Mailman, garbage truck, that he's things he's seen a million times before, like like he's warning them, don't come over here, or come rescue me. Yeah, I don't know. Dogs are cool. Baron, what kind of dogs you got? I know they're adorable as hell. No, just me. Yeah. No, I'm gonna probably let this go at the 30-minute mark. Just me babbling away. Hoping you guys are all having a great day. Thanks, Baron, for hanging out with me for a few minutes. I hope I didn't interrupt anybody's work schedule, and you know, uh, hopefully this will not have any problems and upload to all the weird crap that these things do. But it says there's 4 people watching right now. Well, there was 4 people watching. I can't imagine who those people would be besides Baron. Maybe my son's watching downstairs. But if it was him, he'd leave some sort of smart ass comment already. We're just about out of here, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me for a while. If I get the chance, I'll come back and do a test number 3, but I probably won't have the opportunity. I still got a bunch of crap to do for tonight's show, and the rest of the week. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. If you come watch this later on, I appreciate it. I know I picked kind of a weird time, but you know, these things happen, you know, when they happen. So have a great day, everybody.